very clear and apparent. The owners let it be known. We're not doing that $10.5 million cap thing y'all was talking about. The players, you know, they was doing this whole, we're on one front. Are y'all crazy? This is crazy. There seems to be a real divide amongst the players here. So the delegation was made up of, in the grand scheme of things, nobody that has a following or even a big name, just people you would pass on in the street and not even recognize. Smart. Yeah, so that's what it is.
Ownership slammed the brakes, and there's no sugarcoating it. The league flat out rejects a $10.5 million cap structure and refuses to budge on a 30% revenue share model. But the real issue is emerging now. The players themselves aren't completely aligned on their next move.
Any offer y'all sent with those last two offers, y'all shouldn't have brought it in this meeting. We're not doing a $10.5 million salary cap. We're not doing a 30% revenue sharing. You wasted your time getting on a plane if that's what you show.
Some are ready to walk, others are ready to sign, and a few are weighing the risks, examining paychecks, careers, and just how long this standoff can hold. That's the intensity that hits when negotiations move from slogans to a real-world pressure test. The latest clash unfolded in New York City, where the Wnba Players Association faced league owners in a private, 3-hour showdown.
Alexa Philippou, the WNBA and WNBPA met in New York City for about 3 hours today. The player delegation included Nneka Ogwumike, Alicia Clark, Brianna Turner, and Stephanie Dolson. Nafisa Collier and Kelsey Plum had travel issues and didn't make it to New York. Ogwumike and company declined to comment on the PA's way out.
This was the face-to-face the players had been demanding, hoping it would shift the leverage. The group featured top names like Nneka Ogwumike, Kelsey Plum, and Brianna Stewart. Their message was unmistakable. They wanted to negotiate directly with ownership, not just league executives. They wanted Adam Silver at the table, a straight line to the decision-makers. Instead, they hit a brick wall. Sources say the owners instantly dismissed the key demands, shutting down the proposed cap and rejecting the revenue share percentage without even considering it as a starting point.
You know, we're all agreed and we're all in for everything. We're on the same page. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. And now it's coming out that the owners they stood their ground in this meeting, and the players are now.
The players showed up expecting movement, and ownership responded with an unyielding no. Now the situation is fracturing. Public unity is giving way to private division. For months, the WNBPA projected a single direction, but behind closed doors, the executive committee is split. Some see a strike as worth the cost, others view taking a deal now as the safer path. The real shift isn't minor disagreements, it's a leadership rift at the very top. One faction believes the league is exposed, and this is a moment to push for a permanent overhaul of revenue sharing. No settling, no incremental gains. The other believes progress has already been made, owners are closer to compromise than headlines suggest, and the fastest path to real wins is signing while leverage still exists. Simply put, some want to strike, some want to sign, and ownership senses that tension. Strategically, that's a problem. The union spent months building leverage, authorized a work stoppage, went public, framed demands as non-negotiable, and demanded direct talks with ownership, expecting the power to shift in their favor. When the owners stood firm, the dynamic flipped, and when internal divisions surface in the media immediately after a meeting like this, it's rarely accidental.
Said y'all all was on the same page. Y'all said that, oh, we got this under control. Oh, what? We will not effing move. In the words of Natasha Clark, we will not effing move. We will not effing move. Well, your ass about to get moved over. Another group says that though there are still some matters to be negotiated, the players have already gained significant ground.
Once a negotiating position starts to falter, leaks emerge, sources speak, and the appearance of unity starts to feel performative. Even body language tells the story. Nneka Ogwumike leaving the meeting without comment signals more than words ever could. When talks succeed, leaders rush to control the narrative. When talks stall, silence speaks volumes. Money complicates everything. Reports suggest top players could earn $400,000 to $500,000 annually. For much of the league, that's not just a raise, it's stability, debt relief, family support, and freedom from the financial scramble every off-season. The debate isn't just about principles, it's about timing, risk, and who can afford to wait. The biggest divide is simple: a strike impacts players unevenly. For many, the real prize isn't a higher headline number, it's freedom. Freedom from constant overseas seasons, freedom from burning out chasing paychecks. A proper WNBA salary scale delivers that, yet the union must maintain a hard line with a roster facing vastly different financial realities. Some stars have financial cushions, outside leverage, or alternative ventures that keep money flowing even if the WNBA calendar goes dark. Endorsements, equity deals, and off-season platforms let them weather a strike in ways most of the league cannot. But for the middle of the roster, the players without seven-figure deals or premium outside contracts, the push to $400,000 to $500,000 matters because it reshapes the entire ecosystem. For many, that's the first time their careers feel financially sustainable. So the question is clear: will mid-tier players risk uncertainty over a guaranteed payday? For most, the answer is no. And that's exactly what ownership knows. Time works in their favor when the union isn't fully aligned. Every week without a deal heightens locker room pressure, surfaces differing opinions, exposes varied risk tolerance, and sparks private-side conversations. Owners also grasp the optics of alternative leagues, adding another layer to the strategy. If a work stoppage occurs, players with strong ties to alternative leagues could benefit from the spotlight, even as the broader roster feels the strain. It's not a moral judgment, just the reality of incentives. When those incentives diverge, maintaining solidarity becomes harder. That's why the owners were confident drawing a hard line in that New York meeting. They weren't facing a single, unified opponent. They were negotiating against a coalition with competing priorities, and they're betting that coalition fractures first. The players pushed for the face-to-face, hoping it would shift the power dynamic, believing direct access to ownership, and even Adam Silver's presence or its symbolism, would tilt the room in their favor.
Y'all thought Adam was going to bend the knee and allow the other owners to go into a $700 million hole for y'all? Absolutely not, man. Are y'all crazy? This is crazy. The WNBA and WNBPA met for 3 hours. The players, so Nneka was there, Alicia Clark was there, Brianna Turner was there. Can we please get Brianna Turner off the Indiana Fever? Please get this lady off the Indiana Fever.
They assumed ownership would be more sympathetic than league leadership, but they quickly learned the truth. Owners aren't willing to take massive losses to meet demands they see as structurally unsound. They won't overhaul their financial model just because the players came in confident. That's not how negotiations work. Now, the players face the toughest challenge, not the headlines, not the tweets, but the internal math. Caitlin Clark made it clear weeks ago, both sides need to compromise and close the deal. And the real target of that message wasn't ownership, it was the Players Association. She understands a reality that union leadership can't ignore, and it's obvious some of you don't.
Clear that some of y'all don't. It's clear. So there seems to be a real divide amongst the players here. And let's be real, am I surprised? No. Not surprised by this. We're not surprised by this. At the end of the day, these players have done everything they can to push the fans away and all of this stuff. And now, you know, you got Nneka Ogwumike saying she has no comment.
The WNBA's leverage has limits. Yes, the league is growing, and the numbers are up, but growth isn't the same as profitability. The current surge in attention is driven by a handful of headline stars, not a fully stabilized, league-wide engine. If a season is lost, there's no guarantee that fan momentum picks up where it left off. Habits form fast, but they break faster, which makes record viewership persuasive in public but far less compelling at the negotiation table. Owners aren't denying the league's upward trend, they're weighing the full ledger. Revenue is rising, but so are expenses. Expansion looms, but it demands major upfront investment. Media rights talks inspire optimism, but optimism isn't a signed deal. Here's the disconnect. Players want pay based on what the league could become, owners want compensation tied to what it's generating now. That gap is critical, and time is forcing a decision. Training camps are looming. Front offices need clarity to lock rosters. Sponsors need certainty about the season. Broadcasters need schedules they can actually commit to. Without an agreement, the standoff doesn't just drag on, it ramps up internal pressure on the union as players start doing the math. A strong paycheck for a short season versus risking nothing on a strike is simple calculus for most. And here's another reality the union can't spin away. Authorizing a strike isn't the same as executing one. A stoppage only works if the majority stays aligned. If enough players can't afford the gamble and play anyway, the strike collapses, the union fractures publicly, and leverage evaporates. Nneka Ogwumike and union leadership are trapped. They went all in on maximum demands, raised expectations, and publicly declared this the moment to reshape the league's finances. Walking back now carries a cost because ownership isn't budging. Leadership faces two grim options: compromise and look overplayed, or escalate into a strike that could split the membership and erase years of progress in a single summer. Owners know that pressure, and that's exactly why they stood firm in Monday's meeting. At this stage, it's less about negotiating terms and more about testing resolve. Ownership wants the players to choose a path: take what's on the table now or gamble on a stoppage that might collapse once real paychecks are on the line. The frustrating truth for the players is that ownership's calculation could be right. The league has genuine momentum. Caitlin Clark's rookie season drew unprecedented attention, Angel Reese and Cameron Brink amplified it, and the broader rookie wave brought new fans, media coverage, and week-to-week buzz. Ratings climbed, arenas filled, and the product finally felt like it had a mainstream runway. That window is meant to be built on with a full, uninterrupted season. A strike would destroy it, shifting the story from basketball to conflict, turning headlines from stars and growth to labor disputes and cancelled games. It also opens the door for alternative leagues to pitch themselves as the stable future while the Wnba debates the past. Players thought they were negotiating from strength, but ownership delivered a blunt reminder: leverage only matters if you can actually use it. Right now, the owners are betting the players won't risk sitting out a full season to make a point. Ownership is betting the union fractures before anyone actually walks out. They expect mid-tier players to weigh the offer, check their finances, and choose stability over symbolism. And judging by how fast the narrative shifted after Monday's meeting, that bet doesn't seem reckless. Silence spoke louder than statements. Nika Wamaki left without hinting at progress, and reports of internal disagreements surfaced almost immediately, the kind of detail that usually stays private. The players pushed for a direct session with ownership, expecting it to shift the tone. Instead, it confirmed what owners already suspected: the union's public unity is thinner than it appears. Now the players face a decision that can't be delayed. Are you willing to risk a season for a better deal? To gamble financial security, career timelines, and the league's momentum for a few extra points of revenue share? Ownership's message is clear: they aren't caving, restructuring around projected future revenue, or taking massive financial risk because the players believe they're owed. The ball is back with the players. Take the deal on the table, which still represents meaningful progress and locks in gains while the league grows, or strike and hope solidarity holds long enough to force concessions. But the strike's weakness is stark: it only works if nearly everyone stays aligned. If even a small fraction plays, leverage collapses instantly.